the death of Gautam Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, is a subject of deep historical, spiritual, and scholarly interest. Known as the Parinirvana, the great passing away, Buddha's death is surrounded by various theories, controversies, and accounts from ancient texts. One of the most debated aspects of Buddha's death is the theory that he was poisoned. According to the Parinirvana Sutta, a Pali text that documents the final days of Buddha, he accepted a meal offered by a blacksmith named Kund. The meal consisted of sukar madhav, a term that has been interpreted in various ways, including pork, truffles, or a type of mushroom. After consuming this meal, Buddha fell severely ill, leading to his eventual death. While some scholars and followers believe that the meal was unintentionally contaminated or spoiled, others speculate that it may have been a deliberate act of poisoning. However, there is no conclusive evidence to support the claim that Buddha was intentionally poisoned. Parinirvana Sutta, a Pali text, emphasized that Buddha accepted the meal knowingly, aware that it would lead to his final passing, as he had already decided to attain Parinirvana. There is no Buddhist tradition that suggests the Lord Buddha was intentionally poisoned. According to the Parinirvana Sutta, the incident was clearly a case of accidental food contamination. The Buddha himself explicitly stated that Kund, the blacksmith who prepared and served the last meal, should not be blamed by anyone. The sutta begins by describing how the Buddha had already been quite ill a few days before his final meal. Despite his illness, he had recovered, determined to deliver one last sermon to his son. It was during this time that he gave the famous admonition, "Be a lamp unto yourself." After reiterating his teachings to the gathering, he continued on his final journey. When Kund offered him sukarmadhav, a term that has been interpreted in two ways, either as a soft pork dish or a type of mushroom or yam used in pig food, the Buddha consumed a portion of it. He then instructed Kund to bury the rest, declaring that only a Tathagat, a fully enlightened being, could digest such a dish, and no other being in any world could do so. A non-religious interpretation of this event suggests that the Buddha, in his immense compassion, realized the dish was spoiled and wanted to prevent others from eating it, while also sparing Kund, who had served the meal with love and devotion, from any guilt or blame. After consuming the meal, the Buddha began to experience severe symptoms resembling food poisoning. Despite his physical suffering, he demonstrated extraordinary willpower and continued his journey toward Kushinagar. Along the way, he provided further teachings to his disciples and even a layperson who visited him. It was only after this that he decided it was time for his final watch, after which he would attain Parinirvana, final liberation. In his supreme compassion, the Buddha made it clear that Kund should not be blamed for his suffering. Instead, he framed the event as a great opportunity for Kund, as the humble metalworker had provided. The final meal that facilitated the Buddha's complete unbinding. The Parinirvana Sutta emphasizes that the Buddha considered Kund worthy of praise for his generous offering, not condemnation. After this compassionate declaration, the Buddha continued to the Sal Vriksh in Kushinagar, where he delivered his final instructions to the Sangha. It was there that he attained Parinirvana, leaving the world forever. This account, as recorded in the canonical texts, provides a clear and consistent narrative of the Buddha's final days. There is no evidence to support alternative claims, and the Buddhist canon remains the earliest recorded historical material from the Indian subcontinent. Any other theories lack a valid foundation and contradict the well-documented events described in the sutta. One of the most compelling theories about the Buddha's death comes from Dr. Mitando Bhikkhu, who conducted a detailed analysis of the events described in the Parinirvana Sutta. Based on medical diagnostic criteria, Dr. Bhikkhu concluded that the Buddha likely died from mesenteric infarction, a condition involving a blockage in the arteries or veins that supply blood to the bowel. This condition is common among the elderly, and the Buddha was 80 years old at the time of his death. According to this theory, the Buddha's final episode of this disease was triggered by a large meal, which aligns with the account of his last meal in the sutta. During his final illness, the Buddha conveyed profound teachings, including parts of the Diamond Sutra. In this sutra, he instructed Anand on how authentic teachings should be transmitted and guided Subhuti on the nature of well-motivated bodhisattva action. This teaching, which emphasizes selflessness and the illusion of ego, was allegedly delivered by the Buddha with complete calmness, even as he was fully aware of his approaching death. His composure and dedication to teaching in his final hours highlight his profound wisdom and detachment from the fear of mortality. Buddha's final moments are described in detail in Buddhist scriptures. According to the Parinirvana Sutta, his last words were, "All conditioned things are impermanent. Strive for your liberation with diligence." These words encapsulate the core teaching of Buddhism, anitya, impermanence, and the importance of striving for nirvana, liberation from the cycle of birth and death. His final message served as a reminder to his disciples to continue practicing the dharma and to seek enlightenment. Buddha lived a long life, dedicating himself to teaching the dharma after attaining enlightenment. At the age of 35, according to traditional accounts, he passed away at the age of 80. His death occurred in Kushinagar, a town in present-day Uttar Pradesh, India, under a grove of sal tree. This event is commemorated as Parinirvana Divas in Buddhist traditions. As mentioned earlier, Buddha's last meal was sukar madhav, offered by Kund. The exact nature of this dish remains a topic of debate. Some scholars interpret sukar madhav as pork, suggesting that Buddha consumed meat. This interpretation has sparked controversy as it conflicts with the vegetarian ideals often associated with Buddhism. Others argue that the term refers to a type of mushroom or truffle which may have been toxic or spoiled, leading to Buddha's illness. Some believe it was a vegetarian dish made from soft bamboo shoots or a delicacy prepared in a specific way. The ambiguity of the term has led to ongoing discussions about Buddha's dietary habits and whether he consumed non-vegetarian food. The question of whether Buddha ate meat is a contentious issue. According to the Vinay Pitaka, the monastic code, Buddha allowed monks to eat meat if it was offered as alms and if they had no reason to believe the animal was slaughtered specifically for them. This rule, known as the Trivid Niyam, threefold rule, states that meat could be consumed if it was not seen to be killed for the monk, not heard to be killed for the monk, and not suspected to be killed for the monk. Buddha himself is said to have followed this rule, meaning he may have consumed meat if it was offered to him under these conditions. However, he also emphasized compassion for all living beings, which has led many Buddhists to adopt vegetarianism. Theories and controversies surrounding Buddha's death include the debate over natural causes versus poisoning. While the Parinirvana Sutta suggests that Buddha's death was a result of food poisoning, some scholars argue that his death was due to natural causes given his advanced age. The theory of poisoning is often dismissed as a later interpretation or exaggeration. Kund, the blacksmith who offered the last meal, is sometimes viewed with suspicion. However, Buddhist texts do not accuse him of any wrongdoing and instead honor him for his offering, which played a crucial role in Buddha's final journey. Some interpretations suggest that the last meal symbolized the impermanence of life and the inevitability of death, aligning with Buddha's teachings. The meal, whether poisoned or not, served as a catalyst for his Mahaparinirvana. The Mahaparinirvana Sutta recounts that the Buddha specifically instructed Kund to serve him only the sukar madhav, interpreted as pork curry or a similar dish that he had prepared, while the other food was to be served to the monk. After the meal, the Buddha advised Kund to bury any remaining sukar madhav, as no one else in the world except the Buddha could digest it. This account suggests that the Buddha was not poisoned, but rather knowingly consumed a meal that would lead to his final passing. His actions and words demonstrate his complete awareness and acceptance of the natural course of events, reinforcing the teachings of impermanence and mindfulness that he imparted throughout his life. The controversy over whether Buddha ate meat reflects broader debates about vegetarianism in Buddhism. While some schools, like Mahayana Bodh Dharma, advocate for vegetarianism, others, like Theravada Bodh Dharma, follow the original teachings that permit meat consumption under specific conditions. The death of Buddha remains a profound event in Buddhist history, marked by spiritual significance and scholarly debate. Whether he was poisoned or succumbed to natural causes, his final moments were a testament to his teachings on impermanence and liberation. His last words continue to inspire millions to strive for enlightenment, and his last meal has sparked discussions about his dietary habits and the principles of compassion in Buddhism. Buddha's life and death remind us of the transient nature of existence and the importance of living with mindfulness and diligence. As his teachings continue to guide followers worldwide, the mysteries surrounding his death serve as a reminder of the enduring legacy of the Enlightened One. If this video inspired you, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more motivation, and share it with someone who needs a boost today. Until next time, stay motivated, stay inspired, and keep shining. See you in the next video. Shubham Bhavtu.